Hola, ¿cómo estás? It is time once again to do another round of chemo this morning. So if I sound a little groggy or anything like that during the show, just know it's not as bad as yesterday when I was doing my chemo and they gave me a buttload of Benadryl. I told them cut that shit in half. So with that said, I'm going to start off with a little cancer joke. All right? So, cancer isn't funny, especially if you don't have a sense of humor. Get it? Tumor. But I have a blood disorder, so it's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. Let's do the show, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Laughing with cancer. Let's live a life, not just survive. Laughing with cancer. If you're not laughing, life will pass you by.
Yo, 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 what is up, my friends? This is Elvis Rico, and you're listening to Laughing with Cancer. So yeah, I did my chemo this morning. Feeling a little groggy, but all in all, I'm feeling okay. A little bit of pains I'm still having. So I have it recorded, so I'm going to try to adjust sound and background crap because there's a lot of people that were in there. And you can hear them talking and different stuff like that. And it's kind of hard to really not have that. So I'm going to see if I cannot get that out of there, kind of clean it up or whatever. Do my best to do that. So with that said, let's start this whole new round of chemo. Like I said, I did chemo yesterday. And they gave me this Benadryl, 50 milligrams. Holy cow. I was staggering when I'm walking and freaking couldn't talk straight. I was like, So, let's get started with this new round of chemo. All right, my friends? I'll talk to you here in just a minute. Hi, my friends. We are at the oncologist's office getting ready to do my chemo. I was in here yesterday doing the chemo, and of course, for legality reasons, I'm not going to be mentioning hospital or doctors or nurses' names or anything like that. And they just wanted to make sure it was okay. And they said that would be great, and they loved the idea. So we're going to get started here in a little bit, and when we do, we'll be talking to the nurses. And I think it's just one nurse I'll really be talking to. And just talk to her a little bit about what this other chemo that we're doing, and that maybe a little bit better explanation about the talk about before that's in my chest. I might have explained it a little differently, so we'll talk about that, and just other questions that I might think of or whatever. So we'll get started here in just a little bit. All right, talk to you guys in a minute. Okay, I am back with Nurse Brittany, and not Brittany Fox or Micah Fox or Fox and the Hound, just Nurse Brittany. She's going to explain to us a little bit about what we did, what we're doing, since this is day 2. She's going to kind of maybe re-explain a little bit of what we're doing with the port and hooking that up. And I might have explained the port a little differently before, so maybe she'll kind of explain a little bit better about the port. I thought it was, because at the port, I thought it was, you put the port in and then put the tube in here and then connect it to the port, but it's not like that at all.
No, it's, I'll kind of show you the picture. Is it video?
No video. Just audio.
Just audio, okay.
No, I know the port is about the size of a quarter.
Yep.
And it has a tube that hooks in, that's hooked onto it already.
Yep, and that tube tunnels up about 5 inches and then it inserts into the jugular vein right in the lower part of the neck.
Okay, and then you feed it down.
And then once it goes into the jugular vein in the neck, it threads down to the superior vena cava, which is a big vein that goes right to your heart. So it sits about 1 inch from your main chamber of the heart.
And the reason they have it right over that is so that the heart can hurry up and pump it everywhere.
Yeah, that, and then like the chemo drugs are pretty toxic to the veins, so the smaller veins they can injure. So the vena cava is about an inch and a half in diameter and very thick, so it has less chance of injuring the vessel walls and stuff. Like if you continue to use like your peripheral veins for chemotherapy, you'll eventually wear them all down after just a few months.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a better way to get it in there for you.
Okay, so right now we're just gonna...
And we clean everything real sterilely because it does go right to the central vessels, so we don't want that getting infected. So everything is done with a mask, so in case you have to cough or sneeze, and then we clean it with some sterile solution. It's like an alcohol-based cleanse. And only certain nurses will access ports. If they don't know how to do it, they won't get near them. And when you go into a hospital, there's a special team that will access it. Usually it's called a lines team. They are the ones who do anything to do with this. This is a type of a central line. A lot of central lines kind of hang out of the body. You see the tubes hanging out, but this one's all...
I've seen those before. Prior to that, they'd have a little thing hanging out and you'd have to keep it covered all the time. But now it's under
this
the
one's
skin
all...
so you can keep...
this is for more long-term use. The ones that hang out are usually just like while you're in the hospital. Some patients go home with them if they need like a 2-week or 3-week course of antibiotics and don't really need the port for very long. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to poke you here. 1, 2, 3.
And what's this you're putting in? Just a
This is saline. Yeah, to make sure we're good. Flush are good. We got good blood return. And then I just need to flush it again here. And then we'll be set.
All right. And then you're going to check on that Benadryl.
Yes. And if she doesn't get back with me, we'll just go over it.
Yeah, because that went home and passed out for quite a while.
Did you?
Yeah. That was nothing nice. But the 25 they gave me in the hospital, I was able to handle. Still did all my stuff that I had to do.
All right, so we will get those out shortly.
Okay.
How did you feel last night? Anything? Feel different at all?
I was groggy all day long.
Yeah.
And just not feeling good, achy.
Oh, okay.
Some pains, but not really too terribly bad. A little bit of nausea, but not very bad.
Okay. Do you have something at home for nausea?
Yes, they gave me. Well, first they gave me the Zofran that was a pill before, but I ended up throwing that up. So they gave me the kind that dissolves into your tongue. Oh, it's a lot quicker, a lot easier.
Yeah, that works better.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All right, I'm going to pause this, and then we'll talk about everything else when you give it to me in a minute. All right. Thank you, Nurse Brittany. We'll be back in a minute, guys. Okay, we're back with Nurse Brittany. She's getting ready to hook me up with all the goodies. What's this? Tylenol?
That's Tylenol. We have a bunch of pre-medications, and these are all to prevent any kind of allergic reaction, basically, and prevent some nausea. We have Decadron, which is a steroid.
Okay.
We have Benadryl. We decreased it to 25.
Oh, good.
The 50 was a little much for you.
Oh, yeah. I was slurring by the time I headed home.
And then we have the nausea medicine. This is called Aloxi.
Okay.
These will take about 15-20 minutes to get you all these in.
Okay. Sounds good. So, we were talking a little bit about the Rituxan yesterday, but I wasn't able to. Could you explain a little bit more because I think maybe some people might have got it confused as Rituxan being a chemo and then this also being a chemo.
Okay, so you're getting two different medications for your treatment. One is Rituxan and the other is called Bendeca or bendamustine, Trianda. It has several names, but we call it Bendeca is the most common form these days. But the difference between the two is the Rituxan is what we call a monoclonal antibody, and the Bendeca is a chemotherapy. The difference is the chemotherapy is non-cell specific. It doesn't target specific cells. It kills anything that's bad, but it kills anything that's good too sometimes.
Okay.
The Rituxan, which is a monoclonal antibody, targets certain specific cells. It doesn't go after the good cells.
Just the bad cells.
Just the bad ones. It's cell-specific is what we call it. So it targets certain cells. There's several different ones. Rituxan is a big one we use for leukemias, lymphomas. We even use it for a lot of multiple MS, multiple sclerosis. A lot of patients respond really well to Rituxan for that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a really good drug. The only thing is it's a high potential for reaction. The first time you get it, we expect you to have a reaction almost. It's like
as far as you're getting
allergic reaction.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mostly you would get like fever, chills, you become like agitated and maybe restless. And about 75% of people experience that. So you got away with it good.
Yeah, I mean, just the regular ones that I've had, the sweats and and fatigue, of course. I thought my fatigue was bad before, but after that, I was like, holy cow.
But the thing is when you have an allergic reaction, that's considered an allergic reaction. The thing is we don't stop giving, we don't not give it to you. Mm-hmm. We stop it, we give you IV fluids, and we wait about 30 minutes and we go again and see how you do. And if you react again, we do the same thing. We stop, we wait a few minutes, give you some IV fluid, and we try again. We keep trying all day unless the reaction's severe, meaning it affects your respiratory status, your blood pressure, your heart rate. If it becomes where it affects your vital signs, or you become unstable, then we would stop it. But if it's something that's just kind of uncomfortable and we can work through it, we still try to get it for you because it's the best thing that's going to work. So we don't want to give up too soon.
Now, with Rituxan, as far as side effects, how many days after that will you still have side effects from the Rituxan itself? I mean,
it shouldn't be more than about 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because I'm like, isn't Rituxan shouldn't be feeling bad?
You know? How long ago did you have it? About a week?
I think I left on the 14th, so it's been about a week and a half. So
you should start feeling better. The only thing is now this might not make you feel good. Although this drug, Bendeca, doesn't have a whole lot of side effects. The Rituxan side effects are probably worse than these. These ones, with this one, the big thing we watch is the counts. The drug, the blood counts.
Stuff like that.
And they have a potential to drop about, the lowest they'll be is probably about a week out, 7 days out. So you just have to be super careful when you're around, especially in big crowds. You want to avoid being around anyone who you know is sick.
Right.
Hand washing is key. That's the biggest.
We got hand sanitizer left and right and
that's
all
the
that
biggest
stuff.
thing that's going to prevent you from getting any of those
Like you decide I want to go see a new movie, I'll wear a mask and stuff like that.
And just make sure you always let us know if you ever have a fever above 100.4 is the cutoff. Okay. We don't want anything above that. We want to, if you do, call us and we'll get you in and check you out, get your counts checked and all that kind of stuff.
Now, the doctor had mentioned about a PET scan. How at what point after the second round, maybe, or is it after the first round?
No, usually they wait for at least a few rounds because we don't want to do it too soon. Right. So we're probably not going to see a change that soon. Okay. And they don't want to get discouraged, so we want to give you a few rounds before we recheck anything. Okay.
And normally with this treatment type, because before in the hospital they had me scared to death, saying they were transforming and large B-cell lymphoma, Richter syndrome, all that. So they had me scared to death, telling me the different kind of chemo they're going to do. Yeah. And so then come to find out, we're just targeting for the CLL. Yeah. Which luckily, so thank God for that. Yeah. But my spleen had enlarged and other stuff like that. So they'll be able to see, does normally this kind of treatment will help shrink that back down? Or it just depends? Yeah, it should help decrease any of those things that are related to the leukemia. Okay. Yeah. Now, as far as the Rituxan, I did ask, because a lot of people do want to know, but they're afraid to ask their doctors about sex. And they said with Rituxan, the main rule of thumb is 48 hours. No saliva, no nothing, no mixed. Yeah. Anything like that. Mm-hmm. What about with this chemo? Because I know everything's different. Yeah. And some people are just afraid to ask the doctor. Actually, I think it's just too personal. That's something you need to know. Yeah. I don't know the answer to that right off the bat because I have never been asked that, to be honest. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, nobody wants to ask that. Question. Some people, they end up. I read a story about a lady who her husband had a heart transplant or something like that, and she wanted to have sex, and she didn't because she was so afraid of what might happen, and then they were also afraid to talk to the doctor about it. Yeah. It's like, that's kind of important. Everybody does it. You need to know. So. Let me see. I know it would probably be based on the half-life of the drug. Let me see what that is. How long will as you're looking that up, how long will I feel some kind of side effects from this afterwards? So I know I'm going to have chemo is usually you won't feel anything until like day 2, and it shouldn't last beyond day 4. Okay. So usually it's like the second, third day, or you're if you're going to have a dip in the way you feel, fatigue, nausea, it would usually happen on day 2 and 3. Okay. Because I have talked to a few people. I have a friend in Vegas, of course, that had gone through the same treatment, and she said the Rituxan wasn't so bad. It was this that was worse. Yeah. So I guess everybody is different. Yeah, everyone's different. We had
a patient who we had to stop Rituxan on, and she only got Bendeka, and she didn't really have any side effects. She had some fatigue, but she's the one who had a real serious reaction to Rituxan, so we couldn't challenge it. She dropped her blood pressure and couldn't come back up and that kind of stuff. So in that case, we wouldn't want to push it. But then from then on, she just got Bendeka, and she didn't have, she had some slight nausea and some fatigue, and that's it.
Yeah, because I've also heard a lot of people, because I'm on different support groups and stuff like that, and they have said that the fatigue seems like it never goes away.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And that's kind of in general, when you're going through treatment, your counts fluctuate so much, and the fatigue is related a lot to your blood counts.
Okay.
So when you have that dip in 7 to 10 days, your blood counts are going to really dip from this drug. So you might feel fine, other than fatigue, and those blood counts are what is making you feel fatigued. So you might get some nausea like day 2 and 3, you feel really tired, and then you feel good for a few days, and then all of a sudden you feel kind of fatigued again, like in 7 to 10 days out. And that's because that's the point where these blood counts are really dipping at the lowest.
So as far as till blood and all that stuff in the next round, the main important thing is infection.
Yeah, that's always the biggest thing.
Okay, good.
Especially going into this season, flu season.
Yeah, and I've gotten my flu shot, my pneumonia shot, and all that good stuff. So
the half-life of this drug is less than 24 hours, so that means it's broken down and rid of in your bloodstream in that amount of time. So I would go with the 48-hour. The
48-hour rule too.
Yeah.
Okay. I just know because I remember when asking the other nurse, she said, well, as far as Rituxan, she says other chemos are totally different, depending on how strong some of the other chemos are and stuff like that. Yeah. So I was lucky that it wasn't as bad as they were thinking it was going to be. So that's a good thing.
That is.
But with this treatment for CLL, there has been a lot of positive outcomes from it, from what I've read and from different things that I've got from other people.
Rituxan in general, it seems like anytime we use it to treat the handful of things it's for is almost always successful. We always have people go into remission.
I mean, on one of the CLL support groups, or even a cancer support group, a lady had posted on there that she was just so scared she's supposed to start chemo that somebody told me, don't do it, you will die. And, she goes, so I don't know what to do. I'm scared. And so, of course, I'm getting on there telling everybody's different. Everybody reacts different. Your cancer's different. You don't know what stage you are or where you're at with that. So, talk with your support group, talk with your doctors, and in the end, it's your choice. But you can't have people on there telling you, oh, you just need to smoke weed, or you just need to CBD oil, or you just need to go to Mexico. They're the best. And it's just, and it scares that.
Read too much on the internet, and they get so worked up and anxious over it. So I try to tell those type of people, and you can kind of gather from talking to those people. I just kind of tell them, stay off the internet as far as researching things.
But you can't help it,
right?
When especially like me, I was in the hospital. I was so worried about everything.
Exactly.
I'm looking up and I'm like, oh my god,
it's a natural thing to do.
So of course I was freaking out. They had to give me Valium something to calm down.
Well, that's normal.
I just reacted. And the main thing too, the vanity that I have, my hair. The doctor's like, oh yes, you're going to lose your hair. But now with this, they're saying more than likely you will not. Maybe a little bit, but it won't even be cosmetic type. You won't even really be able to tell.
You shouldn't notice it.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll be having organ failure or something. But my hair looks right good, right?
My hair looks good, right?
I'm on point, right?
All right, so I'll be back.
Okay.
And we'll get that on going. That has about 4 or 5 minutes left on that Benadryl.
Okay.
You should start getting sleepy soon.
No. Okay, thanks. All right, guys. I know we had to talk a little lower on this because we have other patients in here, and we don't want to disturb them. But hopefully, I'll be able to bring that up a little bit when I put it on the Audacity and all that good stuff and clean it up. But yeah, that was Nurse Brittany kind of explaining a little bit more. And once again, this ain't nothing, right? I got this. I'm a warrior. Like I said, cancer, this chemo ain't got nothing on me. You know what I mean, baby? So I will talk to you in about 5 minutes when we start the Trienda. All right, we're back with Nurse Brittany, and we're starting the bendamycin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing I was going to ask is if everything goes well, and after the 6 months or whatever, and it's in remission, is it still with most chemos that 5-year period before you can say something? You know what I mean? How they say
it's typically, but CLL is one of those that is kind of different in that aspect.
Yeah.
And
is it more because it's a blood?
They'll just kind of monitor your blood work year, like 6 months or every year, and then sometimes we have patients who get Rituxan, like maintenance Rituxan. They get like once every 9 months.
Oh, really? So after we're done with everything, how often would they have it coming for blood work to check at first?
Probably if like this gets it good, probably 6 months, every 3 months, like 3 months and then 6 months and then every 6 months after that. Okay. And then if they ever see any changes in your blood counts, they might have you on what we do is maintenance. Okay. Like I said, and we have a few patients who are on like every 6 months they'll come in for a dose, and we have some on every 9 months, and that's just to kind of keep those numbers from going all crazy and stuff like that. If they notice a trend going up, they'll give you a little just to give them keep them down.
And is that because it is a blood disorder and not a tumor? It's not a tumor.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little different.
All right, and this only lasts
10 minutes.
10 minutes, and then we'll be all done.
You'll be on with your day.
Okay.
Hopefully, you won't be knocked out like you were yesterday.
Right. Well, I want to thank you, Miss Brittany, for letting us all know that it's not going to be all bad. It's all good. Every little thing's going to be all right, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, guys, that's it for now. Then we start again next month. Next month, however, we'll be doing the Rituxan and the Trienda on one day and then Trienda on the next day. So, hopefully, I can get this home and get it edited and out for you guys to know that it's all good. You're a warrior. We can do this. Talk to you guys in a bit. All right, guys. Well, there you go. That was my treatment for now, and hopefully it's not going to kick my ass. So I think I'll be all right. There's one thing I noticed when I was in there in the chemo room. You know how chemo is bad for you. You need to change your diet, eat better, and do all kinds of things healthier for you as you're doing, especially while you're doing chemo and stuff like that. And so we're sitting there in the chairs, Amanda and I, and I'm doing the chemo, and I look over, and there's a vending machine filled with all kinds of chips and candies and all kinds of crap. And right next to that is a Coke machine with Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, Powerade. No bottled water in there. Oh, my goodness. Well, I am starting to feel a little sleepy. So, I am going to remind you guys to go to my website, laughingwithcancerpodcast.com. This will be updated on there. And I apologize again for the quality of the sound of the recording. It was noisy in there, a lot of different machines going on. I tried to clean it up the best I could, but hopefully you guys will still be able to hear it and enjoy it and learn a little something from it. And just know that not all chemo equals death. You know, a lot of people unfortunately think chemo poison death, and it's not always like that. So, I also want to remind you still that we're going to be doing the Light the Night Walk for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And Under Review is doing a lot of stuff to raise money for that. But we're also going to be bidding on a Phoenix Suns basketball autographed by the team, the 2017-2018 roster, on that basketball autographed. So if you want to make a bid on it, message me on Facebook, Laughing with Cancer Facebook, or my regular Facebook, Richard W. Ochoa, or my Twitters, at ElvisRico or at Laugh with Cancer, or just email me at laughingwithcancer@gmail.com. And of course, you can comment on my website, laughingwithcancerpodcast.com. So, yeah, it's been interesting. It's been fun, but not real fun. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. I am so drained right now. But hey, I got drugs. Pharmaceuticals. The good kind. Woo, yeah. I'm going to get out of here, guys. It's a short little one. And you know what? Everything's going to be all right. Those of you out there that are scared, not sure, just know that we're all in this together. And there's different chemos that do different things. There's different cancers. There's, everybody's different. So just remember, chemo doesn't necessarily always mean death. But of course, change your diet. All right? Dropped a couple more pounds, down to 250. We'll see how quick I am. Next month, we'll see where I'm down to. Better be down to 240, you know what I'm saying? Well, thank you very much. All right, guys, until next time, I'll probably give you an update after my blood work. A little chit chat, a little bullshit with you. So, hey, if you're on iTunes and you're hearing this show, give me a review. All right? Give me a 5-star. If you give me 1 star, tell me how bad I suck. You know what I mean? I love you all. And we'll talk to you guys soon. All right? Peace, love, and stay laughing.
LaughingWithCancer Podcast.com